Hi, this is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to be making a really pretty spring bow. So let's get started. I have a big assortment of flowers, and if you're like me, sometimes I use part of the bouquet and not all of it. So I'm going to be using some of my leftover bouquets. And so I'm thinking about pink because it's spring or summer. Think about this little dark purple flower. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it in there. And I got some of this burlap ribbon, which is perfect. The burlap wired ribbon from Dollar Tree. And this is 9 feet of ribbon. So I thought I would go with this beige type of ribbon. But they also have green. They had pink. I'm not sure what other colors, but these are the ones that really kind of caught my eye. So we're going to be working with this particular ribbon, and I'm going to incorporate this into my bow as well. So I'm trying to pull together a really pretty spring bow, and this bow can be used on a gift basket. It could be used on maybe some type of gift wrapping type project. It could also be used on a wreath. I'm going to remove some of these labels here. And so I'm going to also be using some floral wire for this project. So the first thing we're going to work on is our flowers. And I had this idea in my head for a little bit. So let's hope that this turns out the way I imagined. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit because I want it to actually be like this when I'm putting the flowers together. So I'm just going to cut this one down a little bit. So of course you're going to need some wire cutters. And so I'm making this first, and then the bow is going to sit right in this area here. I'm going to put that together. Let's see what else we have. We got some pink flowers. I thought these would be pretty also, like a bigger flower. These are a nice soft pink. So it's basically, I'm giving it some kind of balance. Whatever's on one side, I want to be also on the other side when I'm putting this together. And I also want to kind of somewhat overlap it a little bit so that it's not covering up this part right here. So you have the pretty pink flowers coming out here, and then you have it layered with this larger flower. And see if there's anything else I want to use on here. It's a good way to get to kind of use all of your flowers. Maybe some greenery off of this. I'm just using the greenery and just placing it there. And so whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Put some right there too. And I want these flowers facing up because I want my bow to be sitting right in the middle here. And so you see I'm overlapping. I'm making sure both sides are somewhat the same. And the nice thing is that you could always bend this up a little bit to kind of facing you. So this will be my upside. So that's another thing you can do. Okay, so I'm just going to place that there for a moment and get some of this floral wire here. And this is just one of those ideas that was floating around in my head, so I had to go ahead and do it. So you might be seeing me adjust some things, kind of make it work. Okay, because I really like the way that looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my floral wire and just start wrapping this together. I'm going to make sure that this is not sticking out, that end, because you don't want to get pricked with that. And all I'm doing is just winding it around, just like this. And I want to make sure that my flower is facing up, like that. And I could always go back and adjust it. So you see how I'm just kind of winding that around? Just going back and forth. And you could probably use pipe cleaner, because I don't think it will show once you attach your bow. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach the bow. Okay, so you see the two ends just like this. I can go back and adjust this, which is really nice. I can lay it flatter so both sides look the same. So we're going to put this away for a moment, and then we're going to make our bow. So the nice thing is that this is a burlap wired ribbon. I'm just going to let that fall to the floor for a moment. And I'm just going to take this part right here and just fold it under, just like that, leaving a little bit of a loop in the middle. And then once I have that loop done, just before we get started, just make sure that you have enough of this, because we're going to be tying this around. We're going to put our pipe cleaner right through this. And so I'm just going to start with a smaller bow, my first loop. Okay, so it looks like that. And then I'm just going to go a little bit larger. A little bit larger on that one. And all I'm doing is going this way, back and forth. See how that is? And I'm just building on it. So that's what it looks like from the side. And so I want to make sure that I can fit this in here without it being too much for my flowers. So I want to be able to fit it in between this space right here. So I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller, just like that. Just like that. And I'm just going to hold this up again just so I can see. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops with the middle piece. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. And so right now it's about this size. So I have to think whether I just want it to be just like this. Okay, let's see. So for right now, I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. So I'm going to cut this off. And so I'm leaving enough space behind there when I cut it, because I still have to wrap this with my chenille stem. So for right now, I'm just going to wind this around once to hold it in place, because I want to add something else to it. So I'm not pulling it too tight. Okay, so we're going to leave this like that for now. Then I'm going to take this ribbon right here, because I really like it. And I've got bits and pieces of this. I used this in a wreath before. And so you see I don't have that much, but I really like the colors in it. I'm really loving the colors in this, so let's see if this will work. Let's see. See, I want that to stick out from the back there, and I think that would work. So I'm going to just take this and cut it in half. And then I do want my ends to be cut, just like that. Make it look neater. Okay, and I want 2 of those. So this is a great way to use up those little bits of ribbon that you have. Just trying to use everything from your stash. Okay, so we're going to unravel this for right now. Take this out for a moment. Still have my bow in place, and I'm just going to place one of these right here. And I just love the way that beige looks in there. And so I'm going to take one and I'm going to turn it crossway this way like an X, and crossed this way. Then I'm going to kind of push it in all together, just like that. Once I have it adjusted in place. Okay, and all I'm doing is pinching at the back there. And now I'm going to put my chenille stem through that middle part. And I'm going to pull this all together. So I'm actually pinching that middle part now. I'm going to give it a twist, making sure that chenille stem is at the back. And it's okay if this kind of goes kind of loopy like. Okay. All right, I'm going to take this apart because I see my inner part kind of came apart there. Okay, so I'm still holding it in place, and we could just adjust it. Okay, so once it doesn't hold together there, so I just went a little bit tighter on this little inner loop because I noticed that it came apart. So I'm going to push this together here. Okay, and I think now we're ready. Okay, I'm going to squeeze this together, squeezing on both sides, and I'm going to pull it all together now. And I'm going to turn the ribbon so that it's a lot tighter. Twisting the ribbon around there. And then I'm going to just go ahead and adjust these. Okay, so it should look like that. And so I'm just pulling these out, leaving that middle part like that. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. So it just has that layered look on your ribbon. Now you're ready. Once you're happy with the way your ribbon looks, because you can always adjust with this wired ribbon, just fluffing it up a little bit. I really love the way these colors look together. Okay, so now that I have this in place, now I'm going to take this part, and I'm just taking my chenille stem, and I'm going to just twist it around. Now I'm going to just take this and I'm going to go under and just wrap it around like that. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to go under and wrap it around, and then give it another twist, because this is the part that's going to be attached to your basket or to your wreath, or whatever you want. And so You could always, if you don't think this is long enough, you could always attach another chenille stem like right around here and attach it to the wreath or whatever you're going to use it for. Okay, so I'm going to go back and adjust this. I'm really loving the way this is turning out. So tighten it up. And if you want it to be more secure, I could probably hot glue it on here just a little bit if you want. Doesn't really need to, because once you get it on that wreath, it's going to look so pretty. Okay, and so now if you want, you can add in more flowers. You can get really fancy with this. You can layer it with more ribbon on here as well. I'm going to go ahead and more than likely use this in a wreath. But tell me what you would use it in. You could get very colorful with this and start adding in more and more flowers. Even after you're done with it, if you want to hot glue some more, like if I wanted some purple in here, I can put some purple in that too. So if I wanted to do that, you can do larger flowers if you want. You can add some more greenery in if you wanted to go ahead and make it more. So it's up to you how much more you want to add into this. I kind of like mine like this. And so get all of those scraps of ribbon that you have and go ahead and start creating some of these. So I hope this helped you. I think this will look really nice on a wreath. Let me know how you would use this in your projects. Also, this would look nice on some type of Mother's Day gift also, because you can always keep this part right here too. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it inspired you to make your own. Get out to Dollar Tree because they have this burlap ribbon, and I think that you would really like working with this and using this in your projects. So thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so, and don't forget to like this video and comment below. Thanks for joining me. Bye.